In this lecture, I am going to discuss about the various types of insulator used in overhead transmission and in distribution system. In the image, as shown in the slide, you can see the insulator which are connected between overhead line conductor and cross arm of the pole. Now the question is, what is the purpose? Why you are using insulator in transmission system or distribution system? The purpose is clear. There is a potential. This conductor will be at some potential and the tower is in contact with the ground. So tower will be at zero potential. So there will be a potential difference between conductor and the tower. And due to this potential difference, a current will start to flow from conductor to the tower. And this current is called leakage current. This current is called leakage current. And which is not desirable. So to prevent leakage current, to prevent this leakage current, a medium, or you can say insulation is required. So the purpose of insulation is to provide necessary insulation between the conductor and tower so that the leakage current can be prevented. So its purpose is clear. The purpose of insulator is provide necessary insulation between line conductor and pole, or you can say tower, to prevent leakage current. But while you are selecting materials for the insulator, there is a need to keep some of the property of the material in mind. The material of insulator should be of high mechanical strength. Otherwise, there is a chance of mechanical breakdown due to the mechanical force which is existing on the insulator due to the weight of the conductor or various types of loading which are existing on the conductor. The second property of insulator material should be of high resistivity or electrical resistance. It is obvious, if resistance of the material, insulator material will be high, then obviously leakage current will be low. So high resistivity is desirable to reduce the value of leakage current. Third property is high relative permittivity. Material should be a high relative permittivity. There are two types of breaking of insulator. One is the mechanical breaking of the insulator and another one is the electrical breaking of the insulator. This is occurred due to the high voltage. As the similar to the mechanical force, there is electrical force is also exerted on the insulator, and this electrical force may damage or may rupture the insulation property of the insulator. So to prevent electrical breakdown, high relative permittivity is required. And the fourth property is the material should be non-porous, because porosity will again reduce the permittivity of the material. So these are the property which you should keep in mind before the selection of insulation material. There are several types of insulation materials are existing, but among these, the porcelain is most popular insulator material, which are being used nowadays for design of overhead line insulator. In addition to porcelain, there is another material, glass also, which can be used. In addition to these three materials, there are several other materials also that can be used for the designing of overhead line insulator. This is the glass insulator, and this one is the porcelain insulator. You can see this is the distribution system in which glass insulator have been used. There are various types of insulators that are associated with the transmission and distribution system. Among these four types are most popular types of insulator: pin type insulator, suspension type insulator, strain type insulator, and cycle type insulator. These are the four most popular types of insulator that are being used nowadays in transmission and distribution system. And pin type insulator, suspension type insulator has various merits as well as various limitations also. For example, pin type insulator cannot be used beyond 33 kV. Beyond 33 kV, suspension type insulator is preferable. So based on the conditions of transmission and distribution system, based on the voltage level, based on the characteristics where you are going to apply insulator, there are several types of insulator associated with the power system. Now one by one, I am going to discuss all of the insulator. Pin type insulator. This is the pin type insulator. This is 3 layer, 1 layer, 2 layer, and 3 layer insulator. This is single layer pin type insulator. This is single layer pin type insulator. The upper end of the pin type insulator consists groove, and this groove is here for the housing of the conductor. Conductor material is fixed in this groove. Conductor, overhead line conductor is fixed in this groove. And the bottom end of this insulator has pin. And you can see in here, in this image, this pin is used to fix the insulator over the cross arm. That is why this insulator is also called pin type insulator. But this insulator is not economical beyond 33 kV. Because as the voltage level will increase, you have to increase number of layer also. And so after a certain layer, the insulator become too bulky, and its mechanical strength will be reduced. And there is a chance of mechanical breakdown also. So beyond 33 kV, it is preferable to use suspension type insulator. This is called SIDS. This is called SIDS. And this SIDS is very useful. And this SIDS kept inner surface dry in wet and rainy weather condition, and so provide sufficient leakage resistance to prevent flashover. Flashover or puncture. There are two types of arcs existing, which are responsible for the breakdown, or you can say electrical breakdown of the insulator. Cause of insulation failure. There are two types of arc which are responsible for the insulation failure. First one is the flashover. What is flashover? You can see here. This is the flashover. Flashover is the arc. Flashover is the arc between the line conductor and insulator pin. But in the case of flashover, the insulator will continue to act. It is not completely damaged. Its insulation property is not completely removed. It will be act in its proper capacity unless extreme heat produced by the arc destroy the insulator. So as the flashover exists in the system, there is a need to consider a preventive action. Otherwise, this flashover will be converted into puncture and your insulator will be completely damaged. Voltage at which flashover arc exists is called flashover voltage. And what is the reason of flashover? There, the main reason is the conduction path between the conductor and insulator pin. This conduction path created by the dirt deposition on the surface of the insulator, salt deposition, or moisture on the surface of insulator, or you can say water on the surface of high voltage insulator can create a conductive path across it, causing a leakage current and flash up. This leakage current will appear uh, as an arc. So this is the flashover, and another one is the puncture. And this is the main difference between the flashover and puncture is, in flashover you can see the arc is existing from pin to conductor through the surface of insulator. This length is called creepage length. This is A. This is A. This length is A. From this point to this point, length is B. From this point to this point, length is B. And from this point to this point, length is C. And this total length of conduction current path is called creepage path or creepage length. This is called creepage length. The other cause due to which insulator may be damaged or there will be electrical breakdown in the insulator is puncture. You can see puncture will exist in interior. In this case, arc will exist in the interior of the insulator. Arc will exist in the interior of the insulator. The heat resulting from the electrical arc often damage the insulator. In this case, your insulator will be permanently damaged. And the voltage at which puncture will occur is called puncture voltage. And the ratio between the puncture voltage and flashover voltage is called safety factor. This ratio is called safety factor. And puncture voltage should be more than the flashover voltage. So before the puncture, there will be a flashover voltage, and there is a chance to take preventive action when you will see the flashover voltage. So the puncture voltage will be greater than the flashover voltage, and this ratio will be greater than 1. So safety factor will be greater than 1. And for pin type insulator, in most of the book, it is given for pin type insulator, safety factor will be of magnitude of 10. The other type of insulator is suspension type insulator. This insulator is suitable or preferable beyond 33 kV because pin type insulator is uneconomical beyond 33 kV. So it is preferable to use suspension type insulator beyond 33 kV. In suspension type insulator, various discs are connected in series through a metal link. This is the metal link. This is the metal link. And conductor is supported at the bottom end. Conductor will be at the bottom end, and the top end secured to the tower, and its top end is secured to the tower. This is the characteristics of suspension type insulator. And you must remember here, each one of the disc, each disc is designed for a low voltage. You can say each disc is designed for 11 kV. So for 33 kV system, you have to use 3 disc system only. There are various advantages of suspension type insulator over pin type insulator. You can see here, the suspension type insulator is cheaper than the pin type insulator beyond 33 kV. Its other advantages, depending upon the working voltage, desired number of discs can be added in the string. Suppose today is the working voltage is 22 kV, 33 kV. So you can, you will use 3 discs only, but after some day, after some year, suppose the voltage level is changed from 33 kV to 44 kV, then what you will do? Just you have to add 1 disc in the string. So this is the advantage. Depending upon the working voltage, you can add the disk in the system. Further, in case of insulation failure, there is no need to replace entire string. Instead, only damaged disk can be replaced. You can just remove the damaged disk, or you can replace the damaged disk with the new one. Its fourth advantage is it's free to swing in any direction and can take up the position where mechanical stress is minimum. And its fifth advantage, you can see here the conductor runs below the tower. In case of pin-type insulator, conductor run above the towers, but in this case, conductor will run below the tower. You can see here, conductor is run below the tower. So this will provide a partial protection from the lightning, because tower is already grounded to the earth. So provide partial protection of lightning as conductor runs below the earth tower. Tower is already earth. So it will provide partial protection from lightning also. In addition to pin type and suspension type insulator, there is strain type insulator also. There is no any difference between suspension type and strain type insulator, just its orientation. You can see suspension type insulator orientation is in vertical plane, whereas strain type insulator orientation is in horizontal plane. So this is the difference between strain type insulator and suspension type insulator. And this strain type insulator is basically used where there is a sharp turn. You can see here, transmission line is coming from this direction, and there is a sharp turn. This is the corner where there is a sharp turn. You can say this insulator is used where is dead end. Where is dead end? Offline or at the sharp turn. To relieve conductor from the excessive tension. This is the purpose of using strain insulator. And this is used at the high voltage. If the voltage level is low, then in place of strain insulator, there is other type of insulator is also. This is called Seckel insulator. Purpose is the same, to relieve the overhead line conductor from the excessive tension. But this is for the low voltage line, and strain insulator is for the high voltage line. This is the difference. The purpose is used at the end of distribution line or at short term, similar to the strain insulator. So these are the four types of insulator. And this is the source from where I have collected the image which are used in this slide. So this is the part 1. You can see this is the part of 1 of overhead line insulator. In next lecture, I am going to discuss about the potential distribution across the disk. String efficiency. What is the meaning of string efficiency? Why potential distribution is not uniform across the disk? And what are the various factors through which you can make this potential difference and distribution uniform across the disk? So I will cover these topics in the next lecture. Thank you all.